Braincake is a delicious, sweet nourishment created by combining two or more grains.
What's up? Welcome to another episode of Braincake.
Well, it's sort of a J&J special. You're right. Sorry I cut you off.
No,
I was going to say from our humble abode.
Yeah, from our little humble abode and my little sleeping quadrant. Far away from the chickens that crow all day long and keep me awake.
Oh, God. They do squawk a lot, don't they?
Yeah, they do. And considering I work a nighttime job, I'd rather...
Right.
I'd rather them just, show me a little slack, show Papa a little mercy.
Dude, the chickens don't care.
No, they don't. They'd rather just, weigh everything down and poop on everything and be heavy.
They do shit everywhere.
Yeah. Blue's heavy, though.
Blue is heavy. So, guys, for reference here, these are small birds.
Yeah, they're tiny birds. We talked about them before, but one of them to be a tiny bird is quite the fat ass.
Yeah, his feathers hang over the perch.
Yeah, and he wears his weight well, but he doesn't carry it well. You know what I mean?
Right.
He will bounce to and fro with disregard for his bodily health. And also for Jiggy's bodily health. He just as long as he can hop around, he don't care. He's happy.
I think a big portion of his day deals with figuring out how to get Jiggy away from the food bowl so that he can eat as much as he can before Jiggy notices.
Well, before Jiggy notices, probably the next thing he'll do is probably eat her. Or eat him, I'm sorry. So I assume the gender of my birds.
Technically, yes, we do. Because we really don't know. We think they're males.
All signs for their species indicate male, but I don't care at this point. They don't care about it. I don't care about it.
Until one shits out an egg, it's a guy.
Yeah, that's what we're going to say. He's strutting along.
And at that point, it doesn't matter. They're birds. They don't care about their gender.
Yeah, neither do I.
Yeah, I really don't either. I'm not planning to procreate with either of them.
Well, please don't procreate with my chickens. That's all I ask. Don't procreate with them. I don't want some sort of Jer chicken species running around.
Oh, my God.
You said it, not me.
Well, you took it there.
I didn't take it there. You said, hey, man, I ain't going to procreate with them.
I was just going to, exactly. I was leaving it at that. I'm not going to do that.
You're just saying you're not going to. Don't worry about it.
Right.
Just in case that was a worry of mine.
Your irrational fears, if that was one of them, I'm putting it at ease.
Look, I have a fear of gravity just disappearing. And I have a fear of ladybugs. I don't know if I have necessarily a fear of you fucking my pet birds. I'm not necessarily concerned that you're going to creep down to their sleeping sanctuary and creep in their little cage and go, hey man, what you doing?
Oh my God.
What you guys up to? You mind if I rip you fucking half?
Morning chickens.
Well, yeah, fucking morning wood chickens. You ever
Let me introduce you to this perch.
Have you ever wanted to be a woodpecker?
No.
What are you trying to introduce him to a perch? Fucking 12-foot perch.
12-foot perch.
God, man, how you walk around?
Oh, my Lord.
You got a redwood in your pants, man.
Yeah.
Fuck a trunk. You carry the whole damn tree.
No, I'm one of them, what's them ones in the desert? Juniper fir or whatever. It lives 4,000 years.
This is the eternal tree. Is it the tree of life?
Yeah.
Is that what it's called, or is that just what I called it? I don't know if that's really what it is. I don't know.
It's some type of thing. They were bitching about it when it's a couple years ago. Some people went into a park and was cutting them down.
Oh, is it kind of like a Brazilian rainforest type of upsetting people?
It's in the U.S. It's in Arizona or some shit like that. It might even been
somewhere
the desert parts of. Yeah, it's somewhere out west.
That's what I was thinking.
They're like an endangered tree because they take thousands of years to grow. Anyway,
Well, I was gonna say
but no,
if they're as old as 4,000 years old, man, you got a long life ahead of you.
I do, man.
If that's what you're carrying around trying to.
No, it's not me.
It's not you. Okay.
It's the tree that goes on.
Well, you might be the tree it goes on.
I have to plant its seed so that it can continue.
Well, as far as I'm concerned, as far as I'm living, you won't plant it in my pet birds.
Exactly.
No seed for them.
I have no interest in the birds.
I will continue to order their seed from Amazon.
Although sometimes I wonder if they would make good kebabs.
Sometimes, I do. That's
a little barbecue sauce,
That's quite
put them on a little rotisserie.
It's taboo. I love my pets. Why not eat them?
Well, I'm not.
It's the ultimate way to love them.
Look, I'm not condoning eating your pet birds, but if it were any other wild species of bird offered to you on a kebab with some barbecue, slow roasted, and they were like, "This is some bomb shit." But they didn't tell you what kind of bird it was.
Man, Kiwi put some ostrich on this fucking kebab. Chef's kiss.
Well, there you go.
Kiss.
See? What's the difference in the ostrich and the burbos?
Well, okay, the birds downstairs, my little budgies, my little rainbow birds. There's no meat on them. Well, I don't want to eat my pets.
This is true.
Like, I don't have an emotional attachment to an ostrich. I could probably develop one. But I could also think a pig's cute, but I'm still going to eat his ass. Just as long as he's not my pig. You know what I mean?
Right.
Now, I'm not interested in eating someone else's cat. Or eating my own cat. I don't want to eat cat, period.
Yeah, I mean, there are certain animals that I would just be like, I'm not really interested in eating that. I'm not interested in what it tastes like, but there are some people out there that literally go above and beyond, don't they?
Yeah. There's some people that'll fucking, I don't know, shit, man. The black market exists for a reason. Wet markets exist for a reason. The humans want whatever they can try, man. They want some bad. Give me some bad.
They always talk about these black market deals with organs. Mm-hmm. Do you think there's ever been someone who's went there with the intent of buying, like, say, a liver just so they could fry it and eat it?
I would think so. I'd say
that way they wouldn't have to kill someone.
Yeah. I'd say motherfuckers are just strolling up there saying, hey, man, you got a body laying around? You got a corpse I could have?
You got a corpse I can have for dinner?
Like, I don't care if you really harvested organs or not. I would just really like it if you had this, like, a dead person for me. I'd take him home. I'd put him in a vacuum, like, seal him up, and he won't stink. I'll just put him in the freezer, and then, transaction made, buddy.
Right. Like, it don't matter. Nobody's asking any questions. It's just a cadaver.
No, I mean, like,
I'm taking it to the body farm next week.
Yeah,
what's left of it.
If it's the black market, you probably shouldn't be asking questions.
No, probably.
I don't think so. I don't think so. I wouldn't be asking too many questions.
Although, you have to wonder.
It's for college. It's for anatomy.
People who deal in that stuff in the black market, obviously they're very business-centric people.
Yeah.
So they have to have some way of, like, keeping track of all their transactions and, basically what they're going for. Because otherwise, say their boss might come along and say, well, this is going to come back on us. Who bought this? And did you ask why they were buying it?
The black market boss. There's a show I want to see.
Well, I'm not talking about the entire black market, but that individual's boss, because they're probably not the boss if they're selling the material on the black market.
Yeah. The guy dropping off shrooms in your neighborhood necessarily isn't the man who runs Silk Road.
Right. And he's probably not even the person who grew the shrooms, to be honest with you. No. He's probably not even the 1,000th person to touch the package that they came in.
He said, look, man, I only do this just because I'm trying to get in good with the guy. I don't even make any money doing this, man. I can go to prison.
Yeah. I thought you said to ask no questions.
Yeah, no questions, man. Fuck. There needs to be just one singular boss over the entire black market, man. That's where there should be. He's just an overlord. Overlord of all things illegal that are transferring
the baddest
hands.
Motherfucker that's killed the most of them in the black market.
Oh, shit. That escalated quickly.
Well, I'm thinking theatrically.
So people...
My brain always goes cinematic with it,
It's like people are just fucking bludgeoning each other just who can be head honcho of the black market.
I think something of
Excuse me.
I don't know if you've ever seen the movie Red, Retired Extremely Dangerous. It's got it's got Bruce Willis, Morgan Freeman. Excuse me, guys. I'm recovering from a sinus infection or something, so I may cough occasionally. But it's got these actors in it, these really good actors, and they're retired CIA agents, but they end up murdering a lot of people. But it's kind of like I imagine that in my head when I think of a black market boss, someone who would literally murder anyone in their way to be the boss, and no one's going to fuck with them because they know they're going to die.
Yeah,
cartel boss.
He's just protecting his own assets. At the end of the day, he's just protecting his own assets, looking out for his own ass.
Yeah. I mean, it's sort of, it happens in the corporate world, just more politely.
Yeah, don't double cross me, motherfucker. Except in this case, it most likely ends up with your livers being harvested in an ice bath.
Yeah, I mean, they would just resell you.
Yeah, they're going to resell you inside of they're going to hollow out a book and just put your heart in there and just send it off to somebody in Zimbabwe. Yeah. That's twice I've referenced Zimbabwe on this show. Just like, not on this show in particular, we're just in the past. Just as a random country of reference.
Zimbabwe?
I don't have anything against Zimbabwe. I don't even know why that's my... Is it because it's like Z's and sounds fun?
It could be.
I don't know why that's like one of my country go-tos. Like, yeah,
Zimbabwe.
man, I'm going to fly to Zimbabwe. Maybe it's...
Is it because, for your frame of reference, it just seems like the most far place to be?
Yeah, it just seems like the furthest place away from my mind, folks, is Zimbabwe. It's right up there with Ethiopia and Hungary. Like, I don't think about these places. Istanbul does not come across my...
You mean Constantinople?
Sure. Sri Lanka.
That's a weird thing that happens, too, is the fact that over time we name places different. But we're getting sidetracked here. We were talking about the black market and...
Harvesting organs and black market bosses, yeah.
Well, I mean, for reference, the Easter Bunny harvests dead people, but for medical purposes. So, I mean, what's really the difference in someone who does it in the black market and someone like him?
The Easter Bunny, you said. You said that, right?
Yeah.
That's what you meant to say that?
Yeah.
Okay. So I had to make sure, because I wasn't... The Easter Bunny. What the fuck's the Easter Bunny up to, man? Why is he doing that?
'Cause that's his job. That's his day job.
I thought he was just like to be good with kids and play with
one day a year
legs.
he brings around nasty beans, and the rest of the time he harvests dead people.
Oh, okay. So I didn't realize that was the rest of his the rest of the year what he does. So Easter time he comes by and just hurts us.
Yeah,
but the rest of the year he's out hurting other people.
Well, he's not okay. He's harvesting dead bodies, not living people. Jim, you make it sound like he's murdering people. He's not murdering people. He's chopping up corpses so they can be repurposed for medical situations.
He's got a body farm. He's got many body farms just strewn across the US. I
imagine there's a morgue involved, and he probably has to sign some papers every time somebody brings him a leg or something to cut up.
Does Paul Bearer deliver them to him?
I don't know. I hope, because that would be amazing.
Oh, yes! I got a leg for you!
Oh, my God.
Oh, yes!
Who was it that fucked him in the casket?
Fucked him in the casket? No!
Yeah, wasn't it Paul Bearer? No, it was somebody else that got fucked in the casket.
Triple H was fucking Katie Vick in a casket.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, my God. I don't want Paul Bearer to fuck anything, let alone in a casket. Oh my God. No, man. What the fuck?
I keep forgetting that 2 different decades or like time periods.
Oh my God. Yeah, it's 2 different time periods. Oh my God.
Although the dead men did work together, didn't they?
Yeah.
So
he's been around both decades. It's okay.
See, I imagine it's probably Taker. No, it would be Paul Bearer that brings the bodies to him. Taker probably just works in the morgue and
Taker just takes them in and fucks them in the casket. That's what he does. Paul Bearer just brings them there. Undertaker's the one wanting to plow them in the casket.
So exactly, he would work in the morgue where they keep them in the coolers.
Says, thank you, Paul. Leave me be with the body.
But-
Rest in peace.
It begs the question, though. Like, if your day job is to hack up a leg from a donor, what is the difference in doing that for a corporation and somebody who's just doing it for people that's in desperate need of the same thing?
Corporate fucking dismemberment. That sounds like shit Affleck would be like dying to hit people up. We're like, please work for this place.
The hospital pays the Easter Bunny to take skin samples from corpses. I imagine it's a hospital. It's some medical facility anyway. It's a corporation paying the Easter Bunny to hack up corpses. What's the difference in them and the cartel doing it?
That's like selling crystal meth on the street versus just letting it be legal, right?
Yeah, like Adderall versus meth. What's the difference? They're both
What's the difference?
amphetamines.
Is it here, man?
It's that rationalization, the non-contextual rationalization of every white redneck in Kentucky.
Don't worry, those rednecks will just fill the morgue right up.
Gives the Easter Bunny more work.
It gives them more shit to harvest, and you think he ever gets bored? Just wants to start nibbling around on them?
I don't know. I can't imagine he does.
I bet he does.
I mean,
I'm sure people at the black market, they want to nibble around too, don't they? We were talking about that.
yeah, I mean, I imagine they would. And then it begs the question, too, like, what line can you not cross with that? Is it just that you can't eat it, period? Not even if it's your own?
What do you mean?
Like, is it bad?
If it's your own human meat?
Yeah,
like eating
if you're
myself?
like if you study, let's say you go to medical school, study anatomy, go all the way through this, and you get your doctorate, you can become a surgeon. Maybe you are a surgeon. Maybe you're nip tuck, but you don't kill people. But you're smart enough to know how to take like a what's it called? Not a biopsy. Maybe it's a skin biopsy. I don't know. But smart enough to cut enough of your skin off that you can like bandage it and it not cause irreparable harm or anything like that.
No scar tissue.
Yeah. So that no one really knows what you're doing. Is that... Do you draw the line there, or is it just bad if you're eating someone else's flesh?
Well, even... God, it's so taboo. I mean, if... God damn. What is this episode right now?
Well, I mean, it's just a fleshy cake. I can't explain it.
It's a fleshy conversation. It's a fleshy cake for sure.
It's juicy.
It might taste like beef, tastes like chicken, tastes like
pork. Actually.
Pork, yeah, pork. That's yeah. I think it's what Armin Meiwes said. He was he brings up a question too. I mean, like whether it's your own flesh or somebody else. If it's somebody else, if that person consents and they want to be eaten, even if that means they know that entails them being dead. In the case of Armin Meiwes in Germany, like many years ago.
And didn't he sign a document saying that it was okay or some shit?
I don't remember if there was a document, but he would get on a chat board called the Cannibal Cafe, and there was a guy messaging him, like he'd been in there for weeks. This guy messaged Armin Meiwes, and something along the lines of like he wanted to be eaten, and Armin was like, "Well, come here, I'll eat you."
Right?
Maybe not that.
I'm down.
Yeah, maybe not that politely, but point being, they both agreed to it.
They were consenting adults agreeing to what was happening.
Yeah, and Armin Meiwes' victim knew that he was going to die. He knew he was going to die being eaten by Armin. He went there knowing that.
Right.
He was fine with it. He was cool with it. Like, I don't feel like it's a crime against him, the fact that Armin killed him and ate him for months. I think it's more probably a crime against the victim's family, because, like, they didn't know what the fuck dude was into, most likely. Like, I didn't know my husband wanted to go get eaten.
But then it begs the question of, is it really any of their concern?
It's not at the end of the day, but you know how people would be like. It'd be like
Right, I know
it's like
the
a very
social public outcry would be
yeah
more in favor of the family, and like, well, that doesn't really give them, I guess, any kind of rest or ability to grieve properly.
Yeah. They feel like somebody must
like
be
murder.
punished.
Yeah, somebody
must be punished
for taking my sons, my brothers, my nephews' life.
Yeah, it's like a very fucked up suicide, is what, because he agreed to die. He willingly chose to die to satisfy his ultimate fantasy of being devoured by another man. Armin Meiwes had the motherfucker in a bathtub. He kept feeding him sleeping pills and wine and shit. And so he starts just, sawing dude's penis off in an ice bath. And he runs off to go cook it so they can eat it together as he's bleeding out in the fucking ice tub. So he tries to fry it, and they both try to eat it, but neither one of them could. Either the guy was too weak from the fucking blood loss to consume it, and Armin said it was too chewy, and you couldn't chew through it, so spat it out and threw it out. And I guess he gave up, and he went to bed that night, and he was expecting the guy to be dead in the morning.
But he was still alive?
He was still alive in the ice bath. Yeah, he still had a pulse, so he either stabbed him in the heart or he stabbed him in the neck. I can't remember which. To basically end him in the thing. There's footage of the entire thing. He recorded the entire, from pretty much like the time dude got there to them eating dinner, and then, then they have sex, whatever, and then cuts his cock off and they try to eat it. But Armin ate him for like 2 or 3 months after that. But you couldn't. I know we're all over. It's kind of all over the place. But it's a moral dilemma.
It is.
With him, in that case, cannibalism's a moral dilemma, period. That's like, most people taboo, like a taboo attitude towards it. And it's just, you can't. Most people just rationalize it as you can't do
It's a crime against humanity.
There you go. It's a crime against humanity.
To eat your own species is just the ultimate sin.
It's unthinkable. It's unfathomable.
And when you look into the scientific research behind what happens when you devour human flesh, or I would imagine it happens to every species who eats their own kind. Well, maybe not every species, because some have evolved to do so.
It fucks with your brain, doesn't it?
Yeah, like when you eat human flesh, it like seriously fucks with your nervous system and all kinds of shit. Like, there's muscle issues. It messes up your brain, like. Your entire chemistry in your brain changes, and there's neurosymptoms, and it's got a specific name for it, but I don't know it off the top of my head. And
I'm sure there's a cavalcade of things that come with it.
I mean, if it tastes like pork, think about this. The best bacon sandwich you've ever had in your life.
Damn. For breakfast...
It doesn't matter. For whenever.
Okay, I'm thinking about it.
All right.
It's delicious.
It is delicious.
But I don't know if I want that. Now, Armin could have that. I do want to top off on that. I don't know where you're going, but I do want to top off on
because I'm more interested in like where you were going with this whole Armin thing, because he is an interesting subject.
Well, he couldn't be prosecuted for it. I mean, he couldn't, like, not for, cannibalism wasn't illegal in Germany when this happened. Okay. It was, I don't think it was recognized.
Because they probably never had a situation where they had to come up with this law to say, they probably figured, well, nobody's going to eat anyone here.
Yeah, and if I understood correctly, he went to, pretty much, he was not found insane, but he was to, like, be institutionalized, so to speak.
Right, for doing it.
Yeah, and... Is he fucked up because he ate someone who volunteered to do so? Or was it more fucked up to just wait till someone who has died, not at your hands, but just someone you've dug up, or just somebody who's recently
Yeah,
deceased.
like if you work at a morgue.
Yeah.
And you know that they don't have any diseases, et cetera, and that they would be perfectly fine to eat should society not, have that taboo about it.
Right.
But then it begs a question of if there was a way...
But people don't want their family members also, their loved ones who've just deceased to be eaten. Like, that's, you know what I mean? Because so many people have that physical attachment to the body
right.
and all that.
Right. There's a lot of different aspects of this that really begs a question.
It's deep.
It is. It's a very deep topic. There's a lot to this cake. There's a lot to this cake.
It's a thick layer of flesh and bone and sinew and marrow.
And it tastes like pork, but it's a little bit more bitter and stronger. It tastes quite good, though.
Okay. I remember what somebody else had said. It was pork, but they said, oh my God, I'm blanking on his name. He was a killer in New York. He would kill prostitutes.
I feel like Netflix has a series on him.
There's been quite a few specials.
He's not. Is he the Strangler guy?
See, I feel like
Something
it's something
Strangler?
Strangler. Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like, but anyway, he said that it tasted like gamey beef or gamey pork. Tasted
So basically like
gamey,
a wild boar.
Yeah, pretty much about what it tasted like. I'm like, damn, man,
That's not bad.
No, it's not. But Jesus, I can't even mentally put myself in the position to even consider it. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't register with me. I identify with the side of it. I see more of why it's the taboo versus why it's practiced, or why the lack of practice of it. Because there's not a whole lot of people out there cannibalizing one another. That's reserved for quite a few select folks on this planet.
But there used to be a lot of people out there that cannibalized one another.
Yeah, sure. It used to be way more prevalent, whatever.
Yeah.
It used to be
in
way,
culture.
It's way more common then, back more savage times.
But when you think about it, if things were on the brink, or let's just say that due to some mass population or whatever, scientifically something happens that makes it easy to deal with, or like culturally people just get to the point of where we just need to get rid of dead bodies.
Yeah. Like incineration's popular.
Yeah, or liquefaction.
I feel like that should get burials are going to go out of style. You can't do burials forever.
Imagine a service where they take dead bodies and repurpose them. Let's say they
for haunted houses.
Genetically enhance the meat, get rid of all the shit that's going to fuck us up from eating it, and then
so you say it's been processed human meat. It's a human
processed and packaged for home
shop.
consumption, but it doesn't say human flesh. It's just called not the Impossible.
It's the Homo
burger
sapien slaughterhouse.
like but you could call it whatever you want. Mix in some plant material and say, it's
corpse with kale, man.
Yeah, corpse with kale.
You a corpse with kale, bro?
But you don't tell them that. Tell them it's some other. It's beef. It's organically grown beef.
Gluten-free Gregory, baby.
It's fucking hot dogs. It's bologna. It's Spam.
I don't want human Spam. Spam's already weird.
It's Vienna.
It's Vienna, goddammit. It's Vienna. Vienna sausage.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Think about that, though.
Yeah.
Repurposed.
This is very macabre. This whole cake is macabre.
Well,
Dealing with the dead, folks. That's what we're doing. Happy late Mother's Day to all of you out there, by the way.
Well, see, that's the flip of the coin. It's a beautiful birth. Mothers, it's a symbol of fertility. But, so is Ishtar, but we don't celebrate that anymore.
Right, and so is, human Spam.
The death of the other side of the coin is the dark side, the yang to the yin.
Mm-hmm. Man.
There's people out there that eats people, but nobody's eating babies.
No.
Like, is it
Oh my
such
God.
a bad idea? Is it something that even cannibals go, I'm not going to do that. I wouldn't eat a child.
Maybe they're trying to wait till it's more seasoned.
I mean, they say you taste
It's
like
gotta
what you
age
eat.
like wine.
Think about this.
Does it have to age like wine?
No, because it picks up flavor as it ages.
Oh, it becomes saltier. As the
Exactly, we
human
become
mind
more
becomes
pork
saltier.
because we eat more pork and beef, and we take in loads of sodium and shit like that. So we're salting ourselves every day. We're curing our bodies for preservation.
We're pickling ourselves.
Basically.
Man, no one will ever consume me, I don't
But-
think. For I am the saltiest being of them all.
But think about it. Newborns have never had anything out other than what their mother has ate while or during gestation.
Yeah, and they've yet to be exposed to the sins of the world.
Yeah, to
they're-
all these polluted chemicals and everything. Therefore, their flesh would probably be sweeter.
Oh my God.
Think about it. Well, okay, so they eat calves. Is it calves that they eat, or maybe it's baby sheep or something? There's a certain there's a specific
Babies taste like
farmed
lollipops.
animal that we raise, where the age of it, when it's older, we eat it a specific way, but when it's younger, we call it something else and serve it a specific way. Mm-hmm. I think what is it? Veal?
Yeah, I guess it would be veal. It's like
It's calves. We're
Yeah.
eating cow babies.
yeah, you're eating veal.
So is it cannibals that would just go, I can't do that?
It's picky cannibals. It's cannibals with preference. That's a seasoned cannibal, no pun intended. I'm sure that's exactly a seasoned cannibal. Like, no, that meat will not do. That meat is terrible. Let me tell you, the best human is best when they are above 25 and they have seen all the pains.
Or
and
what about a
woes.
pregnant woman? Would they eat the fetus? Would that be like eating one of the eggs? Where
It's like eating balut.
Yeah, where the
Fucking
bird
eating
isn't
duck
fully
fetus.
formed.
Yeah.
That's basically eating a pregnant woman.
Oddly, you know what's funny? You bring up balut. I had actually thought about balut today, of all things.
Oh, God.
I was like, maybe I should see if I can't find a balut. We prepare it for an episode of braincake.
Oh.
We try some.
I imagine it's good, but I can't imagine that if we fixed it, it would be good.
Let me prepare it.
No.
Can I? That's the catch.
Tim.
I have to prepare balut for us all.
We're just going to eat raw birds.
Yeah.
We're going to be eating raw baby chickens.
Yeah.
Or good ducks.
If
or
we've
whatever.
not clarified, folks, it is basically aborted duck fetus is what this thing is. It's a fully formed fetus that hasn't been born yet.
But is it boiled? I don't know how they prepare
No,
balut.
you got to
It's
boil
like a
it.
French thing, isn't it? It's in French restaurants.
I think it's French. I'm not.
It's a weird
entirely
cuisine. I'm
positive.
sorry, guys. I've seen it on Anthony Bourdain, a couple of his shows. I've seen it on a bunch of different travel shows. But it's one of those weird taboo foods because, of what it is.
So there you go. Most people don't want to eat duck fetus. Mostly,
Most cannibals won't eat baby fetus?
Cannibals aren't going to go after pregnant people. Say no.
Well, that would be their easiest victims, though, right? They can't run.
Well, I guess they don't want to eat the elderly.
Elder?
It's out of date.
That's true. I wonder if old people would be real leather, like an old cow.
They're not going to burn, or they're not going to boil right.
Right. Like it's just freezer burnt meat, basically, as an old person. Freezer burnt pork chops.
You got to take a steak knife to it.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
You better put that shit in a pressure cooker and let it cook till it falls apart.
I've never,
Excuse me, Gus.
in my life, never thought I would talk about on a podcast about eating the elderly, eating unborn children,
Well, okay, so let's look at it this way.
But it is fascinating, though.
It is fascinating.
I will say
In a survival situation, there have been people that has had to eat people, and it's not like been against the law or anything because there's a movie about the people that plane wrecked on the mountain,
Yeah.
and had to eat their dead people.
Yeah, now there is if you're talking survival, that opens up an entirely other avenue.
But it's cannibalism.
Of justification. Yeah, exactly. But it's an entirely new reason or way of justification of this same exact taboo. Is it okay then in a life or death situation?
Let's say there's
if you
three
can
of us.
rationalize, me, you, and Kiwi crash on an island, man.
One of us has a broke leg. and the other two were all starving to death.
Yeah, no help's coming.
The one with the broke leg just goes, guys, you can eat me if you find me dead, and then wanders off and kills itself. Does that make it okay?
I mean, like at that point, I'm like, well, fuck, man. Maybe help will come one day, but I can't bring him back to life. I'm not a fucking magician, you know what I mean?
Right.
If he killed himself or not, Kiwi, bro, I'm sorry, but I'm going to eat you. If you're laying there and you say, man, help yourselves, like, dig in if you die, I can't help it. I'm going to be like, all right, man, start a fucking fire, Jer. Me and you, we're going to cook him.
Cut us off a ham.
Some fried kiwi.
Yeah. I mean, okay, so...
But even if he didn't justify, if he didn't give us permission, and he still has the broke leg, like, that's murder. That's different, I guess. Then you're contemplating...
it would depend on how long
Yeah.
and where you were stranded.
You saying...
Wouldn't it? Because you're looking for the justification of murdering someone with a maimed leg that's going to die of infection or some shit if it's not fixed.
What if Gunboy's trying to defend Kiwi? And then, like, do you pick on Kiwi because he's got a broken leg and he can't fight back? Or do you pick on Gunboy because now he's becoming defiant and he's becoming a problem? Do you just tear him down and start eating him then? Or do you just, like, deflect the situation and everybody just get on their knees and just pray to the sky genie above and hope that rescue will come and none of them starve to death?
In a situation where you're prepared to eat someone, I would imagine that your rationalization goes out the window. And you would probably just kill them out of sheer will to want something to eat.
Yeah, the sheer, like, just survival instinct.
Yes, like that is when your pure animalistic nature would take over and you would go back, 35,000 BC or some shit.
Those barbaric,
and rip them apart.
Those barbaric urges we all suppress.
Like a chimpanzee does to its dead rival and fucking rips them limb from limb and then eats them.
And then flings his shit at the family members that watch on.
I feel like they eat them.
I'm sure they do. I'm pretty sure, like, chimpanzees have been documented to cannibalize.
But, I mean, it kind of makes sense in survival situations because human bodies have 32,000 calories.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you could survive quite a while on a body. Cannibals aren't wrong about that.
No. Like I said, Armin Meiwes and... all those guys, I mean, Dahmer, they all lived off their meat for a while.
Imagine Boyardee sitting back in his chair one day and going, what's a quick way to get rid of dead bodies?
Ravioli.
Ravioli.
Beef ravioli. Jumbo stuffed ravioli.
Yes. In a can.
In a can. Mega stuffed can. Mega stuffed with jumbo stuffed. And Chef Boyardee is not a documented cannibal.
No.
There's no evidence of him cannibalizing another human being.
And I'm not accusing. I'm just saying, imagine that someday. It may not be, his name may not be Boyardee.
Yeah. He's not a cannibal, damn it. I stand by it.
Right. I mean, his ravioli is pretty bomb ass. Whether it's human or not.
Yeah.
I'm not even actually sure that it's meat. It's probably soy more than it's meat, but the fucking raviolis are bomb.
As long as I can keep buying it for fucking 88 cents a can, god damn it, Chef Boyardee, keep feeding me corpses. I guess. That's your secret ingredient.
I've got this weird association with serving dead people. Because when I worked at Papa John's...
Wait a minute.
I always...
What do you mean,
we'll come back to that.
Okay, sir.
When I worked at Papa John's, I always thought to myself, I'm like, it would be such a strange, taboo, cannibalistic thing if there was a pizza joint where you dropped off Grandma's corpse and picked up an extra large, Grandma.
Chairman, no one has dropped off their fucking loved ones to you when you were working at Papa John's, did they?
No
one
this
brought
has never happened.
Grand's ashes by.
No. Nothing like
So
this.
sprinkle it in my fucking BLT pizza last time.
But I'm just saying, as a way to deal with, let's face it, folks, the Earth's population is growing. Humans are out of control. We're like cockroaches.
Dude, we're like fucking infestations.
I mean, sure, the Rona done come and wiped a couple of us out, but we're going to rebound.
Oh, we're gonna repopulate a plenty.
Unless we roast in this oven.
Yeah, it's just once people get past the cold feet and Like, everybody's going to have to learn how to be social again so everybody can fuck again.
Headlines have already surfaced that singles are, like, condom sales are way up this year.
I bet. So,
because
like,
single people are getting vaccinated and they're fucking going out to have sex.
Yeah.
So procreation's going to happen. We're going to have a population boom. We know this. But our population keeps growing, and at some point we're going to have to decide when it's time to cut the ritual and actually deal with dead people. Because corpses are diseased. Well, they can lead to disease.
It's archaic.
We know this. Yes, and it's archaic to worship a corpse.
Or to keep them around and try to preserve something that's not going to stay.
In murder situations, yes, there is a reason to preserve the corpse in some way. Bury it in the ground so you can come back and look at the bones later. Mm-hmm. But in most situations, normal death, liquefy them or burn it.
Yeah. I mean, like, there's no need in keeping it around. You're taking up space. I mean, like, the dead person, as you've once beautifully said on here, the corpse don't care.
Exactly.
It doesn't fucking care what you do with it. As far as I'm concerned, if people want to keep their wakes, that's fine. Because that's what most people want. They want to see the body one last time.
To say goodbye.
Exactly. So, you can have your wake. You can have your funeral. But you don't need the burial. No. You can dispose of the body at that point, and that's probably
because even when you come back to a cemetery, sure, you know that there's a skeleton under there.
Yeah, like what are you preserving?
But what are you looking at? The headstone.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, like, is it just peace of mind knowing that they're in that spot where that grave plot has been made?
Right. I mean, at that point, is it are you worshiping the dead?
Yeah, I mean, like, I understand mourning. I understand all of that. I do. And I'm not even trying for it to sound cold, but what are you preserving? Honestly, like, the memories are what's in here. It's not in the fucking ground.
Right.
Like, the person that you know in the ground isn't even in that thing.
No.
That's a fucking shell.
Exactly.
There's not a damn thing in that. That's a fucking cicada that's left its body.
Yep.
That's
a butterfly that grew its wings.
Yeah, it's a deuces.
All that is flesh and bone.
Yeah, if you're even lucky for it to be that at that point, like, I don't know.
And at some point it deteriorates. I think in most cases because they usually put a vault over the casket now to preserve for longer preservation in case they need to come back and do some kind of autopsy or whatever.
Yeah, no, man,
and it more dries up.
If there's questionable circumstances, like you said,
bury it.
Yeah, bury it or do something with it. Keep something of it around. Something that you can identify.
Otherwise
liquefy, burn it.
If you burn it and you turn it into ash, you can imagine a situation where suddenly you're mixing the ash into like some kind of organic fertilized soil and using that to replant large swaths of forest that we've cut down to help save what's left of the planet. By the time we get to a point where, humanity has to say rituals have to go.
Yeah,
because I don't imagine it happening in the next 100 years.
Yeah, I mean, like, that's a whole other deal with it too. It's ritualistic, archaic, ritualistic. It all comes back down to fucking old practices forever and a day ago that we can't let go. As I had said once before, traditions are a dead person's form of peer pressure.
Exactly.
That's all it is. We carry on the shit that we do it, and we don't even fucking know why. We just keep on keeping on with it.
Right.
Like, oh man, we've been fucking burying our best friends and our loved ones for fucking thousands of years. Why? Fuck me, I don't know. But let's just keep on throwing them in the dirt.
Well, I mean, before their response would be, before we just threw them out, and then that was a bad idea.
Yeah.
People started getting sick, so we started burying them, and it just seems to work out so far.
Yeah. I mean, fucking think about it like this. Burials are so ingrained in the human psyche that people, men and women who have committed mass fucking genocide, dig mass graves.
Yes.
Just to throw a little bit of dirt on them.
Yeah.
That's it. They didn't care. They just fucking whacked 5,000 people. They gotta be buried. We can't just let them lay here.
I will say, some Oh God, I can't say that. That's going to sound horrific if I say that.
Considering the past 45 minutes haven't been cold and fucking taboo as hell. I was trying to say earlier, I don't want any of this to sound cold, but there's got to be a point we have to deal with fucking dead people.
Yeah.
Dealing with the dead again. They're like zombies. They just probably just won't they won't go away.
They keep coming up.
Keep fucking
but
coming back.
I was going to say, into your response of like even, you know, some of the most horrific people in the world who commit genocide, you dig mass graves.
Mm-hmm.
But then, you know, when you look at it, is that what makes it so horrific for in the Holocaust situation? Is that he burnt the bodies instead of burying them because of their religious tradition? In a sense, does that not add to like
That's
the
weird.
whole?
I never once never thought of that. That's strange.
I know it's one of those things that you don't you obviously would never think about unless you're talking about the whole tradition of burial.
Yeah.
Like, is that part of the whole? I don't know the whole because it's horrific no matter how you look at it. But
Yeah.
Is that a whole other side of horrific for some people?
No matter how you slice it, it's a very bitter piece of skin to swallow.
Yes.
Which begs to answer the question that we started with. Is it okay to eat other people?
Right.
I don't know. Can anybody tell me?
I mean, I imagine one day the moral dilemma would just go away and people just won't care because, I mean, it's going to continue to happen the longer we're alive. We're a bizarre species. We're basically electrified jello having an experience and everything to us is real and exists and we just try to make sense of it. So I can imagine that some people are like, sure.
Electrified jello. But you're right, man. You're right. We're electrified jello that some people just want to eat.
Right. Some of us look at us and see a fucking entree. You know? Some of them look at you and see a fucking horrific person or individual.
Yeah, and some people see you as a fucking an Instagram post or something.
Yeah, like it's all perception. So
I'm gonna eat this person. I'm gonna get 10,000 thumbs up, baby.
I just hope you guys enjoy this cake.
I hope you enjoy this.
Like
cake
I said,
too.
it's a juicy cake. It tastes like pork. It's delicious.
It's goddamn. It's multi-layered too.
It is
Laced with bones.
It's sweet in the center because that's where it's young.
Oh my god.
This cake bakes from the outside in instead of like a microwave that bakes you from the inside out.
I don't like this description at all. Making my skin crawl on me.
Well, I mean, the cake's a jiggling.
Hey, you've had a perplexed look on your face for like the past 10 minutes. We're getting close to the end of this. So what is it that's on your mind, my sir?
I don't know. This whole... I think about sometimes, and this is weird to even say out loud, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
Is, you know, in the middle of the night, you're laying in your pillow, your eyes are closed, and you're staring at the darkness that's the back of your eyelids, and you go, why is this a problem?
What's the problem, officer?
Like, why has society deemed this a problem? What about it did different cultures not like, even though there are different cultures that participated in it? Do they see each other as bad people because they do it?
Like somebody's more savage than somebody. Like one set of people are more savage than another set of people.
And I'm talking about like back in the day in the tribal sense, like
Aztec,
long before people were making contact really with other civilizations and
Mesopotamian,
yeah,
that type of
when
shit.
we were crossing the land bridges. Was cannibalism a thing? I imagine during the Ice Age there were a lot of fucking people that got ate.
I figure if human sacrifice is a thing, cannibalism is definitely a thing.
Well, yeah, think about it. They would eat their hearts. The Aztecs, for example, rip your heart out of your still beating heart, hold it in the, you know.
Yeah, I mean, like, what the fuck else? I mean, like, if you can justify that, I mean, like, what's the difference between you doing that and going, yeah,
right, and just fucking eating it?
Yeah, holding it up in the air for all to see in front
Like-
of, on top of a fucking Mesopotamian temple or Aztec
And
temple.
I can
just-
see from the religious aspect how they could say, well, if you do this, it's the ultimate sin because look at what happens to you when you do it.
Mhm.
You know, look at all the bad shit that comes. And I imagine way back when people were still conceptualizing religion, that when someone would eat a corpse and go fucking mad, they would think, oh shit, that dead motherfucker has possessed him, and he's going to get all of us if we don't kill him.
Who did we know it was just fucking madman's disease?
Yeah.
You know, it's like mad cow disease. You ate some bad human meat, bro. You fucking spazzed out some. You got a hold of some mad meat. Mad man meat.
But you know, sort of the same thing happens if you eat like what are they? Carnivore species like bears, lions, tigers.
Are they
because
carnivores or omnivores?
They're carnivore. Well,
Carnivores just eat meat, right?
yeah.
Omnivores eat everything.
yeah, we're omnivores.
Gotcha.
We eat both. But like animals that only eat meat carry certain bacteria that is deadly to you if you hunt and kill them. So, I mean, is it only a human problem because it's our own species, or?
I guess so. We just worry about it ourselves. I think it all just comes back, honestly, to a ritualistic idea of respecting the dead.
Yeah.
Like, at the end of the day, really, we just do it because we don't know why we do it.
We don't.
But do I also want to eat meat? No, fuck no, I don't want to eat meat. I don't know how many times I have to reiterate in this podcast, let alone at any given point in my life as a defense, to be like, yo, I don't want to eat human meat.
Right.
I don't have the interest. I just think, why can't we just fucking look at this shit, open the box, look at the contents, and go, God damn it, why?
Yeah.
Why is this like this? And why are we doing it?
Who put this in this box?
Who put this head in this box, and why did they expect me to want to eat it? I don't want it. I don't want this brain cake, this literal fucking brain cake in this box.
Well, there it is, folks.
Yeah, I guess there it is. Cannibalism.
Cannibalism. Brain cake style.
Cannibal cake.
Cannibal cake.
I don't know if you want cannibal cake, but you've just been fed fucking 50 minutes of it.
Yes. Keep in mind, this is a high caloric intake. 32,000 calories, my man.
Yeah, and don't let the law catch you with this cake either.
Yeah.
You'll probably do hard time.
Danger cake.
Danger cake. Protect the inside of your tummy cake. Take Pepto.
Take Pepto.
And we still no social media presence.